Have you ever reached the end of a crochet row, turned your work, and suddenly absolutely no idea where the next stitch goes? So instead of knowing, you just kind of guess, and everything seems fine, right? Until 10 rows later, when your rectangle has somehow become the trapezoid, or your stitch count is completely wrong, or your edges look like they got into a fight. If that's happened to you, you're not alone. And today we're solving one of the biggest beginner mysteries in crochet. Hey crochet friends, I'm Mo, your crochet companion, and today we're talking about where a row actually begins and ends. Because this is one of those things that experienced crocheters, we do automatically. But beginners are often expected to magically know. And honestly, most patterns don't do a good job explaining this either. Now, for the most part, the problem really isn't these stitches. It's where the stitches are, especially at the beginning and the end of the row, because every stitch height behaves differently. And this changes how we actually turn our work. Okay, so first I'm going to start with a single crochet. Single crochet, it's short, which means it doesn't need much height to start the next row. Okay, so to start the next row on a single crochet, we're just going to chain one. Now, if you get really froggy and really good at it, then you wouldn't even need to chain at all. But here's the thing, as I turn my work, this is the part that kind of starts confusing beginners. Sometimes they will put their hook in the chain itself. You don't want to do that. You want to look on the side of your work and at the top. So this little part of your braid you're not going to use. You're going to go into this second little braid. But if you want to double check to make sure, look on the side. Do you see the little dimple right here? That's what I call it, is a little dimple. That's where you're going to actually insert your hook. Right there. Just like that. Now, you're going to look for your braid for your next stitch and go into that one as well to do the single crochet. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish this row real quick, and then we'll talk about the double crochet. Okay, now before we go on to the double crochet, I want to show you what the end of the single crochet row looks like. Now, as you can see, I didn't quite finish, but it kind of looks a little weird at the end, right? So some people, they will stop right there and go, oh, okay, I must not need to put a stitch there. So it kind of looks a little wonky, but you see there is still that little tiny braid. So we want to make sure that we're putting in our stitch into that last stitch. Now there's a couple things that you can do to make sure you don't miss that last one. You can either put a stitch marker in there when you first start the row, or you can count to make sure you got the right amount of stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is exactly what I should have. Now, we're going to move on to the double crochet, but I'm going to tell you something a little bit different. So most of the time, like if you're doing a double crochet in a single crochet, it's really easy to know when the end of your row is. It's pretty simple. You're going to have a dimple for every single stitch. That's the easy part. Now, let's go ahead and get into the turn itself. As you can see, we're getting taller with the double crochet. It usually uses a chain of 2 or 3, depending on your personality and whether you like it like that. I personally only do a chain of 2. So sometimes this is where we start losing stitches or gaining stitches with the double crochet. So we're going to chain of 2, and I'll show you why sometimes we'll lose or gain a stitch right here. So the chain of 2 is considered your very first stitch when it comes to a double crochet. So you don't want to crochet in this first spot right here, that first dimple, right? So you're going to have 2 little braids first, which is your chains, and then you have the one braid that is actually your stitch right here. You're going to skip over that because this chain of 2 is going to be considered your first chain. So we're going to go into the second chain or the second stitch and do our double crochet there. Now, if you don't skip that, you're inevitably going to get an extra stitch in your row. So instead of, you're going to get the reverse trapezoid. The reverse, right? That's basically essentially what it is when it comes to the double crochet. Now, let me go to the end and I will show you how to make sure that you don't lose your way at the end of a double crochet, especially if you've just done a row of double crochets, because that's going to be different because of the chain 2. Okay, so this is the part where we often lose a stitch, because as you can see, most of your beginners, they're going to get to this spot right here and then they're going to think, oh, I'm done, right? But you're wrong. You still have the chain 2 that you did at the beginning of the previous row. So you need to find your chain 2 right here, and in the second chain, or if you're looking from the top down, it's the very first chain, you want to make sure that you're putting your stitch in there. And this is how I do mine. Just make sure I find that back hump, put my hook in there, and pull it up. And sometimes, yes, that stitch can be tight. So now you see you've got an even square. No trapezoids here. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the half double crochet. So a half double crochet is slightly different from the double crochet and the single crochet. So it's kind of in between. So with the single crochet, we did a chain of 1. And the double crochet, we did a chain of 2, sometimes 3, depends on who you are. I usually only do a chain of 2. Now the half double crochet, you can do it the exact same way as a double crochet, which is the chain of 2. Or if you're like me, I don't like to have mine so tall. I like to do a chain of 1. That's all it is. But if you prefer, you can do a chain of 2 and then do the half double crochet. Now, the half double crochet, just like with the double crochet, you're going to skip that first stitch. You're going to skip those two chains, or 1, depending on which one you decided to go with. You're going to skip that first stitch because this is going to count as your first half double crochet. You're going to go into the second stitch and complete your stitch. Just like that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to the end, and I'm going to show you how we're going to finish off the half double crochet. And it will be exactly like the double crochet, only you're doing a half double crochet. Okay, I've gotten to the end of my row, and as you can see, it would look like you would stop there, but just like with the double crochet, if you're doing half double crochet the previous row, or in the current row, whatever, you want to look for that chain of 2. So like in this case, I did the double crochet the row before, and then I'm doing the half double crochet this row. So I still have to look for that chain of 2 and insert my hook into that chain of 2 and that last chain. And then you complete your half double crochet. Now, there's one more bonus here that I'm going to talk about, and that is the treble crochet. I don't want you guys to get confused, but I wanted to throw that in there because the treble crochet is slightly different. Treble crochet, you're going to be chaining 3 at the minimum of 3 chains, the maximum of 4 chains. I have never done a 4 chain for a treble crochet. I usually do a 4 chain for a double treble. So it's just like with all the other stitches, you're going to do the chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn your work, skip that first stitch, go into the next stitch, and complete your treble crochet, excuse me. And just like all the others, if you used a half double crochet, a double crochet, or a treble crochet at the end of the row, and you use a chain, because there is another way to do it as well. I've actually posted a video a long time ago about how to do a stacking stitch, which is my preference because it makes it so much easier. One, it makes it easier knowing exactly where you are. But I teach this method because most of the time, most of your teachers will teach you how to do it this way, and most of your patterns will ask you to do a chain at the very beginning. So this helps you not be as complicated. Not as complicated, but this is the usual suspect way of doing this. Now, if you, like I said, if you are interested in learning how to do the stacking stitch, I do have a video out there that is specifically the stacking stitch. And you will find that I do stacking stitches a lot with mine. All right, so now we're at the end of the row. And as you can see, most of the time we would stop there, right? But we do need to make sure that we are working in that last chain to finish out our row. And now it's complete. And see the stacking stitch, this is what I like about the stacking stitch. You see that little gap right there? It looks kind of weird, right? Stacking stitch fills that gap right there so you don't have that gap, and it makes your work look so much prettier. Now, what I've explained to you, and I just kind of touched a little bit on it, is that most of your patterns, they will read just like this, where they have the chains at the top or at the very first part of the row. So you want to make sure you read the pattern notes thoroughly, because designers don't always handle turning chains the exact same way. Sometimes they do a chain of 1 for a single crochet and half double crochet. Sometimes they do a chain of 2 or a chain of 3 for the double crochet, and sometimes they do a chain of 3 or a chain of 4 for a treble crochet. So you want to make sure that you're reading the pattern notes. If you want to, you can also interchange it for the stacking stitch instead of the chain. But that's a whole other story for a different video. So now we get to, how do you know what turning chain to use? Think about the height of the stitch. Short stitches need less height. Tall stitches need more. The turning chain isn't there to just annoy you, right? I know, it is annoying sometimes. Even if sometimes it feels like it is, right? It's there to help your crochet reach the proper height before the next row begins. So now we want to consider if your edges have been uneven, if your stitch count keeps changing on you, if your projects keep becoming accidental trapezoids. There's a good chance the beginning and the end of your rows are involved, and now you know where to look. So tell me in the comments, which stitch gives you the most trouble when turning your work? Which one? Is it the single crochet, the half double crochet? Double crochet? Which one? All right, until next time, may your edges stay straight and may your hooks never hide.